out to your car after a rain shower and it was muddier than before it rained? This is because organic matter gets stuck up in the atmosphere and then comes down with the rain when it falls. One of the reasons this can happen is because there's bare soil nearby or where the front moved through first. And this can also be because of the type of tillage practice used in your area. Over the last week or so, I've spent a lot of time researching about two different types of tillage, conventional tillage and conservation tillage. And today I would like to talk to you more about that. First, we're going to talk about the differences between conventional and conservation tillage practices. Then we're going to talk more about conventional tillage and the effects it has. And then we're going to talk about the benefits of conservation tillage and why it should be used over conventional tillage practices. Soil is the foundation to our food supply, and tillage plays a huge role in soil health. So first, let's talk about the differences. Conventional tillage is where a plow or other mechanisms are used to invert the soil, completely burying soil organic matter. The Journal of Herbology states that after 2 years of study, this type of practice significantly lowers weed plants per square inch. However, this is just one of the only benefits this type of tillage actually has. A good definition of conservation tillage can be found online at the National Agricultural Library. This term covers a wide range of tillage practices. Each one of these tillage systems leave residue on the soil surface and minimize nutrient loss, and also allows for better water absorption for the soil. Now that we have a better picture of conventional and conservation tillage practices, let's talk a little bit more about conventional tillage. Conventional tillage is still widely used. This is where a plow completely inverts the soil, burying weeds and other organic matter. A couple reasons this is still used is because farmers, this is all they know. Their fathers did it this way and their grandfathers did it this way. Another reason is because it does help to kill the weeds for a time. However, it may have more negatives than it does positives. It can be found in the soil and water conservation for productivity and environmental protection that it is known that this type of tillage will produce extensive soil loss wherever the soil is conducive to erosion. All it does is just speed up the erosion process. It can also lead to nutrient losses and water runoff. Conventional tillage is a way of life for some. However, a practice change could reap many benefits. So finally, let's talk about why conservation tillage should be used instead of conventional tillage practices. For one, all conservation tillage practices leaves at least 30% residue on the soil surface. This protects the soil surface from water impact and also wind erosion. It keeps the soil firmly where it's at. The International Journal of Plant Production describes healthy plant growth and development require healthy soil. And conservation tillage practices is the easiest and quickest way to keep a healthy soil profile. In the Australian Journal of Crop Science, no tillage, or a type of conservation tillage, is widely used there for erosion control, and there is field experiments to back this up. With so many benefits of conservation tillage, why isn't it used more here in the United States? Old habits are going to die hard when conventional tillage eventually gets rid of all the productive soil that we have here in the United States. Conventional tillage is no longer getting the job done. It's time to switch to practices that will help conserve the soil and its nutrients that lies within it. It can be found in the Journal of Conservation Tillage for Erosion Control that the shift to conservation tillage will be gradual, but it is absolutely necessary to protect our environment. To conclude, today we have talked about both conventional and conservation tillage practices. We talked a little bit more about conventional tillage and the damage it's actually doing to our environment. And then we also talked about why conservation tillage practices are important and must be implemented instead of conventional tillage. And I want to leave you with this. You may not be a farmer, you may not go out and till fields, but it is important that we are all aware of how our food is produced. And as being a consumer of this food that is used or grown by these tillage practices, you need to know these things and be aware and be able to speak about them. Thank you.